I rise to offer an amendment to block the Trump administration's most recent and brazen attempt to politicize all grant-making across the federal government. Over the last 15 months, we have seen the Trump administration sow chaos across the country. Last year, Elon Musk and Doge canceled billions of dollars in grants, including grants for life-saving NIH research, public health, substance use treatment, education programs, housing, renewable energy, and the list goes on. Now OMB is trying to codify that chaos and politicization of federal funding into a federal regulation. OMB's proposed rule would require all federal grants to be approved by the president's political appointees, who would require that grants would, quote, advance the president's policy priorities, end quote. Excuse me? The Constitution is clear. Congress holds the power of the purse. This committee, the Appropriations Committee, determines how to allocate funding for grants, for NIH research, for public health, for substance use or education. It is not the president's policy priorities, whatever they may be. This is our responsibility. Our colleagues on the authorizing committees determine the activities that are authorized under federal statute or the recipients who are eligible to receive funding under a federal program. It is the executive's branch that's their job to execute the laws that we pass, not to manipulate the process to advance a partisan agenda. Over the last year, federal judges have blocked many of the administration's efforts to illegally cancel grants or divert funds to favored political allies. Judges have ruled that cancellations were arbitrary and capricious and ordered the grants to be reinstated. OMB's proposed rule is an effort to enshrine arbitrary and capricious grant cancellations as standard operating procedure. The rule would encourage political appointees to terminate grants in the middle of a project simply because they, and no one else, believe the grants may be, quote, inconsistent with program goals or agency priorities. No findings of fraud or noncompliance would be required, just the whims of an unelected political appointee. And OMB's proposed rule would dismantle the peer review process that has driven our scientific and technological progress since the end of World War II. Our scientific agencies, including the National Institutes of Health, the National Science Foundation, Department of Energy, and NASA, rely on independent experts to review the scientific merit of a research proposal. The best science rises to the top, but not under this proposed rule. OMB's proposed rule specifically directs political appointees to seek out ways to ignore and to override the scientific peer review process. They could pick and choose grants based on political favoritism instead of scientific rigor. Our scientific research agencies are the best in the world. They are the best in the world because they do not award funding based on political ideology or cronyism. NIH, NSF, Department of Energy, NASA, these scientific agencies have seeded advances in healthcare, chemistry, physics, computing, technology, renewable energy, and the list goes on. But our advantage as a scientific leader of the world relies on funding the best ideas, the most innovative ideas, the ideas with the greatest potential to cure disease or create a technological breakthrough. Turning our scientific agencies into factories of political patronage would be a disaster. The lost knowledge, the lost breakthroughs would be delayed for years or even gone forever. Mr. Chair, have my colleagues forgotten what their districts looked like just a year ago? Members of Congress were lambasted by their constituents, furious constituents who were irate at the disruption, unpredictability, and the chaos that Elon Musk, an unelected billionaire, and Russ Vought unleashed on the country with the Doge, chainsaw, and Project 2025. Many of my colleagues chose to cancel town halls and meetings with constituents so they didn't have to face public accountability. If the lesson from last year is to stand aside, let Russ Vought codify disruption, unpredictability, and chaos through this rule, when I have to say, I don't think you understood the outcry. We are here in a position today to turn this around as the Appropriations Committee, which is what our job is. I urge a yes vote.